I don't know why I put myself through this time and time again, but I have this weird penchant for Bratz films and also Barbie films. I think it's when I've had a really tough day and I just want to regress into my childhood and watch something mind-numbingly tedious but fun and colourful. And that's always what you're going to get with these kind of films. And I do love animation. I really have a big soft spot for animation. And with Bratz Starrin Stylin, the 2004 film directed by Nick Rijgersberg, I apologise if I've mispronounced that, you definitely get bright, fun colours. The narrative itself, for me, is not very interesting, but it also feels like that's not just me. It's got 5 out of 10 on IMDb, which is not great, but it's not bad. I mean, it is smack bang in the middle. But watching it as an adult viewer, just looking for something into which I can escape, it did hold my attention enough that I produced thoughts. You know, I did think, ooh, I wonder how that issue will resolve itself. I wonder who was doing that. There are some mystery elements to it. To make a not overly complicated narrative even less complicated, Cloe, Yasmin, Jade and Sasha are doing an art project that is all about expression, self-expression, which is very fitting for the Bratz because each of the Bratz, as you may well know, has a very distinct personality. And they often express their passion for fashion in their personalities, and they're against the clock. They have to get this project done, and then they need to go to the prom. So they have 2 things going on. What will they wear to the prom, and you know, how are they going to get this art project done? One of them has an idea that they should film it, do it as a video presentation. Great idea, bringing it into the 21st century. It was alright. I kind of liked watching them present themselves as their personalities because it was good to see that they each have an individual character. It's maybe not fair to compare the Bratz characters to Barbie, but I feel like certainly at the end of the 90s, early noughties, children were either Barbies or Bratz. And Bratz, I feel like although Bratz are seemingly more self-centered and more focused on, you know, their appearance than Barbie is, it's actually good to see that they do have individuality and they are in that respect quite inspiring. So if a young person is watching this, they will see that they are not carbon copies of one another. They actually are unique individuals, and that's something that I always appreciate in Bratz, and it really comes across here. The voice acting I really liked. Soleil Fry is, of course, the voice of Jade, as she tends to be. Tia Mowry is Sasha, with Olivia Hack as Cloe and Diane Kwan as Yasmin. And the voice acting is fine, absolutely no issues there. The dialogue is often dramatic, with the Bratz typically, you know, overreacting to situations, which is what they do best. There wasn't anything in it that I thought was particularly clever or, you know, that made me go, wow, that was a bit of sophisticated dialogue, that discourse is brilliant, but it was fine. The only thing that I have a real problem with is it's the lip, the Bratz lip style. On the dolls, it looks alright, but in this animation, it just seems really creepy. Like their lips are massive, but they seem to be bigger than they should be in this animation. So while the animation style is a bit peculiar, actually, it is very odd, and I can't quite put my finger on why it's odd. I do love, you know, the way the animation shows the fashion and displays their clothes and allows their personalities to come across. It does facilitate that kind of self-expression for the characters, but the lips just are so creepy, and I don't get it. And for me, that's just something that kind of let it down a bit. Whenever I looked at the screen, all I could see was these gimmicky lips. So if they could have toned them down a little bit, or maybe made them a little less obvious. You know, I'm not an animator. I don't know how easy that would have been to do or not. But for me as a viewer, bit concerning how big those lips were. Ultimately, I'm not the target audience, but I didn't mind watching it. If you are looking for something that is incredibly easy to watch, it's not bad. You know, it's not poorly produced. It's not poorly acted. It's just not, you know, for fully grown adults who overly analyse things, as I tend to do with children's films. It is an easy watch. It is good background fluff. And, you know, if you're looking for something that will help you regress to your childhood for just a little bit, this is a pretty good contender.